Hello, everyone. Hi. Oh my God. Hi, Cookies. Hi, hi, hi. Is everyone having a great day? I sure hope you are. I'm having a great day because now I get to talk about one of my favorite hyperfixations in one of my new and many segments to come. But wait, there's lore. Basically, this is going to be a comprehensive, all around, nonsensical lore dump, theorizing, just interaction with the fandom and community. And I'm excited to be able to do that now. No 2D avatar because I am unable. I'm like, okay. Let me keep it real with y'all. Keep it real with you. I'm lying down in bed again. Uh-oh. Yes, another very lazy stream, maximum slay. So yeah, let's just go into it because it's mostly literally gonna be me talking. I didn't feel like doing the whole light show, light sets and camera. That's gonna be for next stream. That is for the peak stream. We're gonna be doing all of that. Peak stream is at 7 o'clock, so I only have an hour. I only have an hour to yap or whenever they call me in. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. I'm making sure everyone knows I'm here. Making sure everyone knows what's good. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I talk on there. I update on there, letting everyone that I'm streaming right now. Making sure everyone has the know-how. Now, I saw the Amazing Digital Circus episode 6, They All Get Guns, yesterday. I saw it, then I saw it again, and then I saw it again. When I watch something, especially if it's a special interest of mine or like say that I'm trying to like get some knowledge about it, whatever, I watch it once to purely enjoy it, face value. Then I watch it again to do a little bit of that, and then every other time I watch something, it's to get more understanding. So the first and second time is for pleasure, and then everything else is for business, baby. We want to know the what and the why. I watch it for what it is, and then I watch it for why it is. And so I was so obsessed with just everything going on. They were not lying. I'm trying not to peek out my mic. I'm so excited. One reason why stream started a little late is because I literally had to use the restroom. I had to pee. I was so excited. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm about to talk about this shit. I'm so excited. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I am going to do a disclaimer. I do not know what I'm talking about, but I do know what I'm talking about. If you pick up what I'm putting down here. Everything I'm saying is, one, typed at 2 a.m. I was up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. doing this, writing all the stuff in my notes app. I don't remember most of it. I was half asleep, but I'm scrolling through it. It is pages long. I don't even know how I wrote that many words at 2:21 a.m. in the morning. But we're here, and we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna get into it because that's all we can do. That's all we can do. So thank you Twitch, thank you YouTube for joining me in this journey. Some people might drop by. I told Discord, hey, if you just want to stop by, say a few words, give a theory, whatever, you can drop on by. I'm gonna do this till stream. We've already we're 11 minutes in. We're just gonna get into it. Number one, what did I write? Okay. And also I have the YouTube pulled up behind me because in case I'm gonna like video reference or to watch a scene over again, I'm just gonna pull it up randomly. There's a lot of really funny. This episode was so good. I say this about every episode, but best episode yet. The third episode was my favorite episode, the Kinger episode. This is my favorite episode now. Okay, actually, maybe third is still my favorite because Kinger really popped off. Anyways, let me get into it because I only have an hour. They literally said I only have an hour. So literally the title of my notes is Everyone Shut Up But Me. So this is what we're going with. So I see this is the scene in the tunnel where and they're out of order too, by the way. So you're gonna see me ping pong all over the place. I'm so sorry. My thoughts never come in order. We're gonna get to this part in here. This is the scene where, oh my god, an ad. Able to build. Guys, we're gonna get ads. This is the scene where Zubul and Gangle are running down the hall, or the tube or whatever, while being chased by Jax and Pomni. And this is really just a reference to her being able to shoot her Tommy gun. So I'm going to read it and let me pull it up here. Because it was so good. Oh, it was so good. Let me pull it up. So this is the Tommy gun scene. I'm going to unmute it. Let's watch it real quick. It's so good.
Why'd you stop shooting? You out of ammo? Why'd you stop? You out of ammo?
Hi Twitch, hi Twitch.
Got any ammo left?
We're gonna watch this real quick so we can get a little context.
Cylinder and one sniper round, but no sniper rifle.
Crap.
Oh, this is loud, guys. So sorry this is hurting your ears like it's hurting my ears. We're gonna fix that right now. Alright. They made lesbians real, guys. And I'm gonna call out my shippers. If you ship Zubul and if you ship Gangle together, if you ship Google together, you are so valid because I get it. I'm gonna talk about the dichotomy of these two characters and the similarities in my notes because I think I did write something about it. But if you ship them, you guys are so valid. But look at this. So it's this scene right here. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back just a little bit. So you see her face, and then it breaking out. Her comedy face, which was pretty positive itself, was so nice and lighthearted. And then immediately switching into her, so-unquote, sadness face. But you see how big that smile is? You see how big that smile is? That's what I wrote. Gangle had a bigger smile on her sad mask when it broke, and it shows it's not the mask that makes her sad, but rather the expectation. When she truly enjoys this adventure, she was able to show her true self. The fact that the sad mask under is her real face. Worrisome, depressed, and extremely cautious, but still encompassing every good emotion as well. We see her happy or content despite her comedy mask breaking. She thinks she feels happy when it's on because she is tricking herself. Guys, we've seen her mask break throughout the majority of the show, but even when it's broken, even when there's something positive happening in the show, she is still able to put on a smile or laugh about something, even with her face doing the thing that it does. And so this is her real face. This is her real face because, one, no one is ever happy all the time. They go through a myriad of emotions. This is her real face, not the comedy mask. She's so protective of a personality that's not truly hers. And man, oh man, I was cooking at 2 a.m. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Because I'm in it now, guys. I'm in it now, guys. Let's keep going. Oh God. Next line. And like I said, this is out of order. Random shit. I think there's going to be some crazy stuff in here. I'm so sorry. I typed, Kane is so cute. I hope he's not evil. No, the freak. The freak got loose, guys. The freak has gotten loose. Oh. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so I have here Kinger, and I'm not gonna pull up everything on the web. We're just gonna pull up scenes that I really want to make an emphasis on. So in this one, I have Kinger is the most sane character in this show. It's not that he doesn't come with his own trauma, but rather he doesn't let that trauma keep him from enjoying the time he has in the circus or hurt those around him from his own insecurities. I think age and the fact that he has been here the longest helps. I know in the scene where Kinger and Ragatha kind of have their heart-to-heart.
Imagine being
Adam, guys, send me money. Send me money and we will not have ads. I will make sure of it. Send me money and we will not have ads.
You need to look out for yourself in all this too.
He is such a fountain of wisdom.
So often nothing you
And it's not just when he's like in the dark, because we know, so the whole thing about Kinger is that when it is dark or when the light dims, he is the most coherent, due to the fact that during his wife's abstraction they were in the darkness. The trauma of losing his wife, the mentality of just surviving in the circus basically did make him crazy. However, he's the most sane character, because even in his states of just randomness, silliness, kind of unstableness, he's still spitting little nuggets of knowledge and lore that is just so completely missed until you like take a moment and sit with it. And we're going to talk about this more in the notes app. Okay. There's going to be some personal stuff in here as well. So, hey, and that's just how it is. I relate a lot. I relate to every single character here because I see bits of myself or things that I have done in each person. So we're gonna address all of that. Oh boy. We have an hour. It's already 6:18. Okay. I hate how similar I am to Ragatha, but I know that this is to me, guys, it's 2 a.m. Please, my sentences. But I know that this is me feeling like it's an exact replica of her family dynamic. She sees her so-called family being torn apart. Also, we know her mom was similar to Jax in the way she always had something to say to tear down or belittle her, which is why I think she reacts so strongly. Okay, and then I start talking. I do the same with my mom. Whatever. Everything that Jax does, she has a big blow-up reaction to, and that's usually just what happens when you become so sensitive to a person from their antics that you just always react to it, even if you don't want to. So that is. Okay, here's another one. I can't say Zubul is gay just because they have such great emotional intelligence about the problems a lot of gay face. I have to say it in a way Jax does because it's so obvious. Yeah. You just ever look at someone and be like, yeah, that one's a queer. Yeah, that one's a real bundle of sticks over here. That's Zubul. And I'm so okay with that. Okay. Ping-ponging again. I think that the corruption that Ragatha talks about isn't abstraction. Or at least it's not just abstraction that she's talking about. But Jax takes it that way. This is, and here, let me go back to this scene because it's going to be a little context here. A little bit of context here. This is when they're like kind of shooting in the hallway with Ragatha.
I think that worked.
Where she talks here. Oh my god, guys, I would love it if I could just get this timing right. Here it is.
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work. You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her. Wait, no, wait.
I don't think she's just talking about abstraction, but Jax takes it as abstraction because later on we hear him talk about how everyone blames him for people abstracting. And although I feel in my hearts of hearts, he feels guilt over Ribbit the most. But I remember in episode 1, when Kaufmo was abstracts, everyone's talking about what did they do to make Kaufmo abstract. Some people are like, oh, maybe it's because I never said hi, or oh, because I didn't, tell them to come on stage, or oh, I didn't laugh at his jokes. He says, oh, everyone had a part in everyone abstracting. It's not just him. But he feels the most guilt and remorse from it because I think that Ribbit and Kaufmo were much closer to Jax than the other people. Because and I'm going to talk about this, guys. I'm so on it. I'm cooking. Jax and Ribbit and Jax and Kaufmo all share like this weird, similar sort of like bonding by humor. And I'm going to talk about that. Is it guilt or victim blaming? Narf, I think it's both. I see my chat box is literally over my body. We're going to move chat. Where you want to go? You want to go somewhere else over here? Let's see. Let's see where I can move chat where it's not hovering my body. We're going to put chat at the top of the screen so we can all look at it. I think it's both. But let's just talk about Kaufmo here because that's the most prevalent recent example. I think Jax really didn't mind his jokes. Jax even said that he didn't mind his jokes. Or that he laughed. Like he was like, Jax did not terribly care for, but also did not feel any obtuse towards Kaufmo. As well as, once again, he said that everyone had a hand in the person abstracting. They're not as pleasant as you think before they abstract. So that is why I think that he's talking about, when she says you're corrupting them, I think she's talking about personality-wise, like making them pessimistic or jaded. Once again, notes. Guys, I'm on this shit. I have it literally all over here. I'm on this shit. But also, Jax takes it as he's talking about abstraction, not in this emotional sense, the same way you get a kid to smoke a cigarette type of corruption. All right, next, we're losing time. Also, the ribbon abstract theory was correct, but in the worst way. Jax has no support in the circus anymore. If relationships are a bridge, he enjoys the trip to the other side, then burns it before he allows himself to try and go back for more. He is snatching himself. I don't know what I said about that. And he knows it. He is keeping everyone at gator-filled moat distance so that he doesn't have to deal with the very scary feeling of being vulnerable. He breaks others first so that not only he will think there's no real attachment to be heartbroken over, but also, and more sad, is that in the case he abstracts, he wouldn't want anyone to mourn him. He might not want anyone to go through what he went through. All right. Pause on that because I see we have stuff in chat. Chat says Jax is interesting because his whole thing is episode is tropes and they're deconstructions, right? And in a way, he's a deconstruction. Has the lovable asshole who doesn't get better as soon as someone's friendly. But everyone else came about their deconstructing naturally, right? With Ragatha realizing she can't help everyone, Kinger having clarity in the dark, Gangle learning to accept her flaws, etc. Whatever. Yes! Ah! Yes! But Jax is the only one thinking, like, mentally, or I think it's mentally, that he's so fully adopted himself in the deconstruction that he has to be the lovable asshole or he starts falling apart. Thank you. And I'm actually going to skip through some stuff because I want to piggyback on it. Oh my god, I don't know where I have anything. I really want to follow along with chat, but I did not put any of this in order. Let's see. Let me see if I can quickly find it. If not, we're just gonna have to ping pong around, guys. I literally did a lot. I literally talked about a lot. All right. Because like I said, we're short on time, so we're gonna just have to keep going in order. But we will double back into chat. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna make sure I stay on top of chat. All right. So here's another one. Also, this is one of my favorite. Pomni not caring about everyone's defense mechanisms is so funny. Like, everyone was much more estranged than they think they were before Pomni. Like, how did nobody know about Kinger's wife, which explained until after, because everyone came after Kinger, we know this, in different time periods, but how come no one knew about his wife? And then, also, they've been together for a while. How come only now the gang has noticed that Gangle likes to draw? Like how Zubul noticed that Gangle likes to draw. And we know Zubul draws a lot. I think even Jax knew somewhat about Gangle's talented about her talent, but of course tries to pretend they don't care. I have no intelligent discussion about Pomni. She's just my Pookie and I love her. Love Pomni. I think she's my second favorite character. And I'm only saying favorite character because, unfortunately, I think I am so attracted to Jax. No! I hate admitting that I'm attracted to Jax, that he's not my favorite anything. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a little ashamed, which is why he's not even on the list. We already know what's going on with him. But yeah, let's continue. How come even small details that are only they're now noticing now that Pomni has come? It's because Pomni is asking all the questions about them and less about the circus. I bet everyone who came tried to figure out the place that they're stuck in, but not the people as well. And Pomni, despite kind of being annoyed about being the emotional burden bucket, is the only person who pushes their boundaries and not leaving anything up for misinterpretation, except with Ragatha. Pomni rarely misinterprets their withdrawals, and the stronger they pull away, the more clearly she can see their hurt, which is why she got Jax so on the nose. By fighting and taunting and poking him, she was able to get him to show his real feelings in between the cracks. And even Jax noticed, which is why every disassociating moment, wide smile, and misdirection, he gets a little sharper. Even after hurting her feelings before her throwing the gun, he realizes he might have crossed the line and tried to use humor and nonchalance to misdirect and nudge her towards a different conversation. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna pull it up here.
Not pleasant to be around. Like at all. You.
Okay. Literally, there's so many moments.
You're not the funny one.
Okay, there's so many moments. We're gonna have to go back to.
Sorry.
Sure you are.
Going back to just trying to find. But you guys know it. You guys seen it. You guys seen it. So you know it. You guys need to go do it. Literally, when she talks about shooting him, and then he turns away and says, "Oh, okay, time to shoot me now. Let's get this over with." He's literally trying to misdirect her right after saying something hurtful to her. Ugh. Okay. I'm trying to like do 3 things at once. Jax enjoyer. Oh, don't say it like it's a slur. Don't say it like it's a slur because it feels like one. Oh, it feels like one. All right. But when she refuses to budge is when he gets frustrated and lashes out. When people weren't moving with his rhythm, I guess that also is why he refers to the others as toys. Like Gangle hinted at. Gangle literally set this up too, by the way. Gangle saying that it feels like Jax does not treat her like she's a human being is the setup for him explaining that he feels like everyone is like their toy or his plaything. He was right to embrace the cartoonish world, but he takes it so far to dehumanize everyone so that he doesn't have to dwell on the negative feelings that comes with sharing trauma with another person or their absence. So the part, like I said, Jax is really good at misdirection. He does that every episode. The moment something gets a little too real, the moment something gets a little too heavy, he's quick to change it. He's quick to pull a prank. He's quick to make sure that no one realizes how sad he actually is. Moving on. Zubul dropping lore, because this is Zubul one. Zubul dropping lore about living in the worst parts of yourself because that's who you are and that's all you got. I feel like she was talking about herself as well as Gangle, and Gangle picked up on it. Gangle, very smart girly. Very smart girly. When Zubul was trying to like reassure her, she was talking about herself as well, and I don't think she even knew how close it hit to home because both of their trauma regarding their bodies are different but similar, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Gangle is pretty emotionally aware of other people. The way she understands Ragatha and why she wants to help, why she feels like she needs to help, but it feels disingenuine, as well as Jax how he treats others less than so that he doesn't get attached. About Zubul saying that they need to learn to embrace and love every part of them, but isn't really satisfied with their own body. She picks up on it pretty well. I think it's because she's a weeb. Oh god. Another Jax comment. Another Jax comment here. Okay, Narf. I thought Zubul and Gangle is a dynamic correlating to depression and transgenderism. Yes. Yes, and you know what? Just so I don't have to say this next very degrading line about Jax, I actually do remember saying something about them together. Okay, here it is. Zubul and Gangle are experiencing the same thing in different fonts. Gangle is more focused on her emotions and Zubul is more focused on their body image, and both come with interchangeable parts. But I feel that although Zubul has the freedom of choice, she is unsatisfied with the choices that she has, and Gangle is satisfied with her emotions, but unsatisfied with how quickly they come and go. They both have an underlying understanding of each other, and I believe that can help them find the stability that they want so bad. And it's basically depression and transgenderism. It's dysphoria. It's not being happy with who you are and the body that you were born with. For people who have depression or bipolar or any sort of mental illness that revolves around but has the inability to control or regulate one's emotions is so, and it's something I struggle with, is so serious. It is a problem. It is something that people who, can and should seek help or therapy. It's so real. And Gangle, I think, it's played funny haha on Gangle. Oh, she has 2 masks. Oh, it breaks all the time, boohoo. But it is so serious. It really does feel like you are breaking in little pieces when you are unable to control who you are. And that's the same with Zubul. It physically hurts her that she cannot control who she is. Who they are. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about Gangle. About who they are. Zubul, who is composed of so many intricate parts and details, is not satisfied with any of them. They can put on whatever, they can take off whatever, but it's not what they want. It's not what they need. The reason I said it's spoilers based off of the fact that you enjoyed the episode and yeah. My excitement for this episode should be counted as a spoiler because I'm all over this like butter on hot rice, baby. It's just they're experiencing very similar paths with different situations, which is why once again when Zubul was trying to comfort Gangle, it was also like she was trying to comfort themselves as well, and Gangle picked up on that, and I don't think Zubul did. I don't think Zubul understood that what they were saying to Gangle applied to them as well, which is why I think they are such good friends, and which is why I think they should date and kiss. Oh, who said that? Who said that? Okay, continue. We're going back to where we left off. Okay, and I did promise I was going to say everything in my notes app, so I did type in here, Jax can unload in my chamber, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It was late. It was late. I hate it here. It was late. Alright, here's a Kane one. We're halfway through. Kane is an AI. Yes, we know that. And he is doing what I see a lot of AI do when they are frustrated or confused, and that is literally try and reset themselves to negate any negative reactions. Zubul constantly challenges his authority, solutions, and progress. We literally see that in the beginning.
I'm Gabby.
Ad! Oh my god. Ad. Okay.
Yourselves for a bit. Oh yeah, how teamwork is.
We literally see that in the beginning when she talks about wanting sex. Let me try to scrub through here to make sure. Here it is.
He's the one that f***s everything all the time.
You are in a mood today, aren't you?
Now, you know what they say about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and Ming.
I love this bit. The Ming bit was so funny. It was so funny.
Hi, I'm Ming. I really don't.
Let me see if I can.
So maybe what we actually need to do are trust exercises.
All right. I don't know. I say I saw this over and over, but I cannot remember where. Like, it's the little parts. This was a long episode.
Hi, I'm Ming.
This was a very long
Appreciate
episode.
what your assumption.
Rules and
I don't know, but we know when she said she wanted sex and it was so funny, ha ha hee hee. Zubul constantly challenges authority and solutions and progress. That confuses him because everything he does, he believes is the right answer, the answer that someone wants. I feel like there are times when he caters to an idea or prompt the characters give, and other times it feels like he's working on a set system already in place. When deviated or having to work on the spot, we see him start to crash and glitch. And even Kane has said that he likes things when he has time to plan them out, when he is able to just work through all of his ideas. I feel like that's literally the system taking the time to build upon all the experiences and the data that he's accumulated. The system is not equipped for all the curveballs everyone gives, and especially to Zubul, where nothing impresses her. He is beginning to hate her, stalk her, and even purposely pester her because he can't get her to react and gets involved positively. We see that in the beginning
I'm not gonna be part of it.
when she talks about him standing outside singing Daisy.
Flower pot all day? Not like
Starts singing Daisy Bell in front of my door. It's creepy.
does he?
And also, for those who don't know, Daisy was his first song a computer is singing, and so him singing Daisy as an AI is just very on the nose. It's very funny, and I'm so glad that they included that detail throughout the entire show. In fact, I wish they animated it. I hope they do animate it where he's singing in front of her. But yeah, let me get back to this. He's beginning to hate her, stalk her, and even purposely pester her because he can't get her to react and get involved positively. He will do it maliciously. The data given to him shows that the more he irritates or pester her, the more I've literally all over the place. More he irritates and pesters them. However, he hasn't fully computed that their reactions come with responses that challenge his data and comprehension. Kane, I think, is very aware now. All the data he has gathered these past episodes have overwhelmed his system. That is why he simply gave up and half-heartedly put together this adventure. He just tossed a bunch of rules at them and said, have fun. Him taking that little break is probably him decompressing and buffering. Looking back at the photos is probably a way of reaching back into his database and thinking about his original purpose in programming, like a memory. Bada bing, bada boom. So, yeah, that's another one. Here's another Kane one. I love Kane so much as a character. I love him so much as a character. If I win the lottery, I would tell no one, but there would be signs. That's because I would own at least 2 of every single piece of Digital Circus merch. But that's just me. Okay, Kane is vain, and him not being the center of attention or respected is starting to tear at his code. Like I said earlier, being questioned makes him angry and confused, but also not being loved. I can see he wants to be a positive enhancement to their lives, but is failing. And whatever part of the program to be seen as sort of a leader or guide is hurting his ego. The story of Cain and Abel. I see him overtaking another AI program or whatever to be the most loved or useful one, to not feel abandoned. That's it. Abandonment is what Cain fears the most. We see it at the very end when he does not get, like, there's after credits too, by the way. For those who didn't finish afterwards, there's after credits. Here it is. Oh, let me see if I can go back a little. Here. Oh, here it is. Here are the after credits.
Alrighty. Now, let's see how many of them voted for me.
That was crazy. The glitch when he realized no one voted for him is probably the whole sort of him not fulfilling a sort of set purpose or code or guide or whatever. So that's very, very interesting. I've also, another Kane one. There's quite a, I've seen, there's these 2 are Kane. Kane having the favorite character awards was definitely a plot he created. This is all hypotheticals, guys. So yeah, calm down. Let's also just make sure this is all hypotheticals. But Kane having the favorite character awards was definitely a plot he created to obtain data and also feed his ego, but it backfired because of his increasing sentience being hurt by the votes. I know it's technically all simulated, but the fact that this is so rigged in his favor and he's not getting a vote is both because I think he doesn't count as a character, but rather the narrator or the writer. Also, not getting the votes means not getting the votes means more than who is the favorite, but who is recognized, how they're perceived. So it would make sense that the AI he's created would not see him as a character, but more as the leader, the writer, the director, whatnot, which to the AI and the characters, whoever voted, basically, would count him separate to everything else. But if he is doing it like the Digital Circus is the show, because we know that Jax likes to break the fourth wall, which means that Jax understands that there is probably a third party here viewing this, or at least due to the clues that this is a circus show, that this is some sort of game or test that he's involved in, there is someone watching and recording, or at least looking out from the outside in. Whether or not Kane recognizes it or not, because, you know, some programs make it to where the AI is unable to understand that they're being viewed. Hold up, chat. So is Pommy part of the company or an outsider that is put on random headset? Let me finish the stocks. I do want to talk about the random headset thing. But yeah, that's probably why Kane isn't seen as a character. He's seen as something other than a character, which is why he had no votes. That's just kind of a theory. But back to the headset here. This is just a side note because I was thinking about Pomni, about how she was an urban explorer. I did see a theory about what, like, the time period people were coming in, due to the references they were giving in the episode 5 about things that to do. And someone said that her being a YouTuber instead of being an influencer shows the time period of which she came in, because YouTubers are kind of like pre-COVID. Everyone's a YouTuber pre-COVID, mid-COVID, and then influencers are mid-COVID to after COVID. And so her referring to herself as an urban exploring YouTuber who's not terribly popular, but, you know, like to explore, and not herself as an influencer or a content creator, her not calling herself a content creator, shows that she came in to this pre-2020, pre-COVID. Especially because I think COVID has such an effect on people's mentality, the things that they do or whatnot. So if you were exploring an abandoned building, why would you put on a grubby headset? If we see what the office looks like in literally episode 1, there's plants growing, there's dirt, there's rust. It looks grody. And so I cannot understand why anyone would put on a grody headset that looks like it's been sitting out for God knows how long. And I'm not saying this because I think Pomni is white, because I do think Pomni is white. But, you know, like, why would you put on a grody headset? The only way I could think she could do it is if she brought her own headset, probably, because you know some people have drones, so there's probably a headset she had that she could plug into the system. Or she opened a drawer looking through some stuff and found some relatively well-kept headsets that she was able to put on. I don't know if she's part of the company or not. A lot of people assume she's part of the company, but I don't think she was. She said that she was exploring an abandoned building before she got here. So I think she literally was just exploring the abandoned Cain and Abel offices, found this program still running, put on the headset, and got transported in here. Random floppy disk. But no, it would still she would still have to have a headset. She had a headset to get into this digital circus. So I think it's either she brought one, or she found some safe stored one, or she put on that nasty, grubby, dirty headset. I would say I would be safe. I would not get trapped in the digital circus because I would not touch that. That's grody. That is grody. All right, next bullet point. Because I got through some of my Cain ones. Let me make sure I got through my Cain ones real quick. Okay, here's a Kinger one. Kinger definitely had to have a hand in making of Cain and the circus, but also him and Jax both make very compelling statements that in this wacky world, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can create something new or be someone new, but it's how it's interpreted is so different. Kinger explains that you can create anything, and we're going to pull that up here when he does the butterfly with ad. Oh my god. Guys, give me money so I will not have to have any ads. Thank you. Thank you. Give me money so I don't have any ads. I'll make sure I can pull it up here for you guys to look at. Here you go. So here's the scene. Let me make sure I can.
Now, I would bet our biggest concerns would be Jax and Zubal. They're the youngest, so they probably still have some youthful fighting spirit.
Man, I'm still missing a heart. This isn't fair.
Oh, I've got just the thing. Here, take this.
Well, wait. What did you just do? What's that?
It's a butterfly. It can restore your health.
Did Cain mention that?
Oh, nah. I made it up.
So I believe him saying I made it up is both him, like once again mentioning that he was a developer for the circus, that he had a hand in creating this, but also on a deeper, more overthinking level. Hello, hi, Aries Chica. I believe on a deeper level that him making it up really talks about how anything is possible in the digital circus, and there are not too many set rules. There's just not too many set rules. So let me explain that. So Kinger said you can create Kinger explains that you can create anything. I saw that as you can create a space or mindset that can help you or others by simply understanding yourself enough to know how to be kind to your emotions. Jax explains that you can be anyone, and thus anyone follows an archetype that fits into this cast of characters, cartoons, toys. You can be anyone, so why human? This is going back to Jax. You can be anyone, so why be human? Being human comes with risks that he isn't ready to face again. The vulnerability, the attachment, the abstraction. Why be you when you can be a version of yourself that can't be hurt again? Why be you when you can be the version of yourself that can never be hurt again? And he takes that so far that I doubt that he knows that while dehumanizing everyone, he did it enough to himself. Which is why throughout the series, you can see him constantly battle with himself on how much he allows people to love him. Kinger embraced that weakness and it made his mind stronger. Like he said in the loser room, that's why he feels the most sane. He says he has a very strong mind. And I think it's because he had to accept that humanity of himself, the scared Kinger, the fearful Kinger, the Kinger that is without the person he loves, to become strong enough to not let that be who he is and how he treats people. And Jax just unfortunately was not strong enough to pull through that himself. Nor do I feel like many other people in the circus were able to do that for him too. Kinger would have been great for Jax if he could just get his mind strong enough for a moment. And I think that's just unfortunately what happened. Also, Ragatha, who tries to pride herself on having personal time with everyone, it would make sense that she has this conversation before Jax, since Jax, I don't think, would be in the same room with Kinger for too long. Because I think he tolerates Kinger because he's harmless in a way to Jax, both emotionally and physically. But also, being in a room with someone who's not completely themselves and having, it feels alone. You are together, but you're still alone. And I think that's another reason why Jax is not alone with Kinger too often, nor are they paired up together, which is why Ragatha didn't want Jax to be with Kinger. She was probably thinking she was protecting Kinger, but, you know. Alright. Next point. Ragatha, aka my mom made me who I am and now it's everyone's problem. Makes sense. Oh, here's another one. Ragatha, aka people pleaser, final boss, but they don't want you to be mad about it. Yeah, that makes sense. Here's another headcanon. I think Kinger is Kane's favorite because he doesn't question him anymore. I think Kinger going with the flow has saved him the unintentional torment of Kane. The more you push back, the more Kane comes up with something else to test your limits. However, Kinger, after the abstraction of his wife as the determination of his the detriment and deterioration of his situational awareness has made him more docile in Kane's eyes. Which is why in every adventure we've seen Kinger was always placed in more favorable positions. It's just that others push him into these crazy situations, and that's that. Out of everyone, Kinger has been in the most favorable positions. He's not getting the hard jobs. He's not getting the terrible adventures. Everything is pretty smooth sailing for Kinger, and I think that is by design. I think Kane likes Kinger because Kinger is just kind of accepted it. This is what it is now. And it's in those moments, darkness, where Kinger can kind of pull himself together that you can tell there's a discontent for the circus. But I think he chooses not to dwell on it just so that he can have the strength to move forward and help his friends around him. Which is why I think Kinger and Kane, it's this unspoken kind of agreement between him. I think Kane finds Kinger harmless, which is why Kinger hasn't really had any problem. It's just, I think that's just how it kind of ended up. I already talked about the Zubul and Gangle thing, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, let me, here's another really deep one. So I said Ragatha is me. She wants everyone to be happy because if they are happy, then they like her, and she doesn't have to feel like the villain or the problem. Well, with this, her hesitation and confusion on how to approach Pomni, who doesn't follow a specific archetype that Jack has briefly, mentioned earlier, it's hard for Ragatha to understand how to connect with Pomni, especially since the past few adventures have gone awry by an unexpected variable. Jax wasn't completely wrong when he said that everyone is like the blank type. And I think even Ragatha has realized that every person has a similar, not similar, but specific trait that defines them so strongly that it's easy to navigate. If you were approached by someone who is the crybaby type, you would probably understand to know how to handle someone whose emotions are a little volatile. But Pomni isn't an archetype. She doesn't confine herself to one category the way Jax is trying to tell her to. Jax is telling her to confine herself into a category while also telling her to branch out and find out who she can be. It's contradictory. It's hypocritical, it's contradictory, but that's just how it is. And I think Ragatha just doesn't know how to navigate someone who is everything and nothing at the same time. And I think that's going back to how our family dynamic is. Like, having to always navigate around someone with landmines, you have to take a specific approach, and it's just not the same approach for everyone. And Ragatha's just having a hard time finding out how to approach Pomni to really, like, connect with her on a deeper level. God. Oh, another freak one. Oh, guys, I'm sorry for you guys having to hear this. All right. I said, oh, God. I said Kinger can be the white man of the year if he lets me hit it sillily. No disrespect to the wife. Oh, God. I wrote this at 2 a.m. I was probably tired. I was listening to Lafe. I listened to Lafe to sleep. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Kinger's wife. I didn't mean to disrespect your mans like that. Hit it sillily? What am I talking about? Ugh. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Alright. Cain can't control minds, but he can absolutely manipulate them by suggesting and gaslighting. By Jork it silly style. Guys, I like Kinger. I've said it earlier, I'm attracted to each character in a certain degree, and there's something about this silly white man that makes me just be like, yeah, we can hit it silly style, because I love Kinger so much. His wife can't fight all of us. Okay, I'm going back. Alright, Cain can't control minds, but he can manipulate them by suggesting and gaslighting. And this is reference to the previous episode 5. By making Jax a vegan was also more so controlling his body to reject it, and hence the mind follows. They can feel pain, they can feel pleasure and taste. So by making a negative reaction to meat, which is amplified by Jax just generally hating vegans, he could convince Jax he was one. And I think that's when Jax began to realize that Cain couldn't control his mind. Yeah, so when Jax was thinking, hey, Cain should not have the ability to control minds, that he shouldn't and couldn't control minds, but then got quickly distracted by the scene happening in the bar, he was becoming very close to, like, figuring that out. Very close to kind of just, like, realizing what was going on. That's what I think. And I do believe it's true. I do believe when Cain said the only thing he has no control over is their minds, but that does not mean that the cast, due to the amount of torture this man has put him through, they're not susceptible to suggestion and gaslighting and manipulation. And I think that's what Cain does. He gaslights, he manipulates, he uses suggestion to get them to think certain things, to follow certain things. Cain is very smart. Very, very smart. Alright, here's another Kinger one. Kinger being so simple-minded and agreeable is also why I think he was able to manipulate the butterfly. What was I saying about this? Even if he can't remember or truly understand how, he knows that the perception of the characters affects the world the same way Cain can. Which is why the gun didn't go off. Oh! We're gonna pull this up. So this is the scene. And then we're gonna go back to where the gun doesn't blow up when Ragatha does this. Okay.
I know. No, wait. Oh, wow. I didn't actually think that worked.
So this is why the gun didn't go off when Ragatha first pointed at Jax. She didn't really want to shoot him, and so in her mind, she literally drew a blank. This is reference to this scene earlier. Your mind affects the things that go on in the circus. She didn't really want to shoot Jax, so her mind drew a blank. Literally, her gun drew a blank. But in the scene that I played these out of order, but in the scene where she stuck her finger in the barrel and it blew up, she was effectively trying to protect herself, and it was kind of like a rather him than me situation, which is why Jax got affected and not Ragatha. I think that was also what Kinger was talking about, how anything is possible. It's about perception. It's all about perception. All right, next. All right, now we're going to go back to everyone's favorite scene. We're going to go back to everyone's favorite scene.
No, I mean, we were doing fine. We are.
Delusional. Huh? Oh,
yeah, you can betray me.
Oh, I just.
Okay, this is going back to everyone's favorite scene. This is the start of it. So another reason I feel like Jax was so quick to let Pomni shoot him is because they had this sweet bonding adventure and didn't want the betrayal title stuck to his consciousness. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think he might feel that he betrayed his friends that abstracted, or maybe that there was a line that he could not cross with Pomni because he hasn't actually come to see her as one of his toys yet. And when he realized that when he realized he was seeing, Pomni as a human and not as one of his little toys, he began to forcibly make him and Pomni feel dehumanized so that he wouldn't have to make the mistake of getting close to her again. And this is all just deflection. This is all just a tactic that he uses to make sure that he could not let her in again. It's a punishment. And it's already at the hour mark. So I do want to get one more note in, one more thing. And I want to skip some stuff because this is going to have to be a part 2. This is going to have to be a part 2. But I'm going to skip to another one so that we can finish this. We're going to have to do the part 2. This was so much fun. All right, I'm going to fast forward to this scene so we can get the context. Here it is.
Led you on? You or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy.
Guys, is it weird that I find this hot?
You suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more.
That is the face, if anyone has said something they really regret, that's the face of someone saying something that they regret. That is the face that oh, okay, Aries, okay. Yes, it's the rabbit everyone sims over, but for good reason. I think we have great reason. If you're attracted to assholes, if you're attracted to people who are just generally, like you want to fix them, but also you wish that they could continue being broken. I'm not even going to get into it because I've already incriminated myself enough. That's for part 2. We'll discuss that in part 2. But here's the last thing I'm going to talk about before we get ready for our next stream peak. I hope you guys make it. It's literally going to be happening. Oh, I'm seeing the time. It's like going to be happening like after I finish this stream, like maybe a 10-minute break, and then I got to start another stream. But we're going to finish with this note here. If I led you on, it was to make sure this part hurt you more. This was not only a warning to Pomni, but to himself as well. This was to make Pomni realize that he is no more than just an asshole, but also to punish himself for allowing her to get so close. If Jax led Pomni on, it was just to make this part hurt more, as kind of cutting off the arm that reached out to help in the first place. This was not only Pomni's warning, but Jax's punishment. If I led you on, it was to make this part hurt you more. It was not only a warning to Pomni, but a punishment to Jax. Jax, flying off the handle here, knew he was saying things to hurt Pomni, but it also hurt himself. We know these things hurt for Jax to say. We see it at the end of the scene. We see him curse, which we very rarely see him do. We see him have this face of, what the fuck did I just say? We see him have this regret. It's a punishment. Him hurting Pomni in this way is not only a warning to Pomni to stay back, don't get close, don't love me, don't mourn me. I'm no more than the asshole. I'm no more than the villain. I don't want to be seen as anyone else because that makes you see me as human. He does not want to be human. He does not want to be vulnerable. He doesn't want to deal with these pesky human emotions that comes with being in an unsafe space. If I led you on, it was just to make sure this part hurt you more. He didn't know this was going to happen. He didn't know that they were going to go through all of this. He didn't know this was going to happen. And we're going to talk about this in part 2 because I feel like this is a piggyback onto Wing It. But I'm pretty sure everyone who watched this episode felt like Pomni was going to shoot herself in front of Jax. Actually, no, we are going to talk about that real quick. We are going to talk about that real quick. Because it does matter. We're going to pull this. I keep saying we're going to not do this, but we're going to. I think the reason we all thought Pomni was going to shoot herself is because I truly believe that the thought came across her mind. I truly believe that she thought about shooting herself in front of Jax to elicit a sort of guilt or reaction that was going to prove that he did care about her. Maybe he was going to forget this was not real and reach out to her. Or maybe he was going to call out her name or something. That may be this desperate attack to a desperate act to show that she wasn't going to just follow along and shoot him and betray him like he wanted her to. Because she wanted to have that little standoff. She wanted them to play and act like they were both going to betray each other the whole time, like a cowboy standoff. She wanted to continue the play. She wanted to continue the role play. She wanted to continue the fun. But he was like, oh, just shoot me now. I'm done. I don't care anymore. Just shoot me. That was him drawing the line. They had their fun. They had their adventure. They won. That was him drawing the line. And she crossed it, which is why this whole argument happened in the first place. And I'm not going to, and there's a bigger paragraph too about that whole scene too, but I'm not going to get into it. But this is a punishment. This whole scene was a punishment for Jax. He let himself fly off the handle. He let himself get too close to the sun. He let himself show how scared and vulnerable of being loved and being mourned. And it did not go over well. And everything was just too much for him and Pomni. And the thing is, Pomni realizes this. The reason she doesn't chase after him, the reason she doesn't say anything, she just kind of stares sadly at him because she knows that this is all just an act. This is all a facade. This is all him trying to push her away so that he doesn't have to come to terms that he likes Pomni. He likes the stuff, the fun that they have together. They like how similar they are. And there's so much more I'm going to talk about, but that is going to be saved for part 2. I didn't realize I was going to get too into this. I'm actually sweating right now. I'm very excited. I'm hot. So we're going to have a part 2 with this, guys. I love this. This episode was so good. Now, I don't think it's my favorite episode because I think Kinger is such a beast. I love Kinger so much. So I think episode 3 is still my favorite. But this episode, whoa! Feeling big feelings over here. And it's not just my weird attraction to Jax and Pomni. The whole scene where he's like, just so we need another straight couple. This would be the straight couple that I would want out of this. Because I want them and I want them both. Okay, enough freaky stuff. Back to the saint. Back to saintly. Back to being a saint. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Glitch, for putting out one of the best animated series ever. I love it so much. I'm so glad they got guns. America! America! But yeah, we're going to have to end the stream here unceremoniously because I have to prepare for another stream right after this. But thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys so much for chatting. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Twitch. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you.